Hi guys, welcome to the video. This is Zach from realestatelicensedwizard.com, and today we are spilling the beans. Literally, I have a pan of beans back there. I'm gonna spill it for you guys. No, I'm kidding. That's ridiculous. Today we're going to be focusing on real estate exam test taking strategy and discussing a secret that I have discovered many years ago that's helped many of our students pass the real estate exam. I'm gonna tell you guys it, and you guys are gonna be like, what? Mind blown. So if you saw the thumbnail, great. As I mentioned just before, this video we're going to cover test taking strategy. So ideally, if you're watching this, you've already studied your heart out, you're ready to take the exam, it's like the day of, all that good stuff. Anyways, let's jump right into it. So it's the day before or close to it, and by now you either know the material or not. The exam is your chance to finally show off what you know. All you need to do is come up with a test taking strategy. So what are those strategies, or what is the best one out there? Well, I am going to explain. And don't worry, soon after we go over our test taking strategy, the best one out there, I'll explain the super secret exam hack and the reason why we have so many students pass their exams. All right, so for the strategy. So you sit down, you get your exam. What do? Well, first off, you're gonna go through the test and find the problems you know right off the bat. Answer only those questions. These are the questions that you 100% know. The ones you're iffy about, you're going to skip and make a note of. Now, an easy way to do this is just to put a star near the problem or circle the numbers. Or if you're doing it digitally, I highly recommend grabbing a piece of paper and just writing the numbers down. Now, after you go through all the problems that you know for sure, you're going to go through the exam a second time around. Look at the problems you made a note of and go through them. Do not waste any time trying to figure out a problem that you have no idea about. Skip them and keep moving. Just make sure to make that note of them. Now, during this time, answer the questions that you're somewhat sure about. At this point, you'll notice some questions you didn't know before. Now you might remember. Or maybe doing a question later on provided some information for you to figure out a previous question. Either way, during the second run around, make a note of the ones that you have no idea about. And again, I repeat, do not attempt to answer those questions at all until you go through the exam the third time around. Now, for your third time around, you're going to go through the questions one by one last time. If you're completely lost, take some quiet, deep breaths, think about vocabulary terms you might have memorized or questions that you might have memorized, and try to figure it out. Worst case scenario, guess. But it's important to keep it moving. Do not spend too much time on any one question. Remember, guys, the exam is timed. So when you're going to guess, use the process of elimination, meaning get rid of any answers that make no sense. Then take the best guess out of 2 or 3 answers left and guess. Now, with 2 answers, you have a 50% chance of getting it right, so that's not bad at all. So with a strategy like this in place, you're 100% more likely to do better on the exam. This will give you statistically the best chance to pass, so sit down, come up with a plan. I highly recommend following this one. Now, for the secret, the moment you guys have all been waiting for. This is scientifically proven, and if you don't believe me, don't worry, I have studies and research linked down below. So what is the secret to passing your real estate exam? What is this exam hack, and why is it so secret? Well, when you're taking your exam and following the strategy we laid out earlier, you're going to see questions you answered before, and you're going to have a sudden realization that you may have been wrong. Change your answer. That's the secret. Yes, I know, guys. Conventional wisdom says stick to your gut. Never change your answers. That's what they all say. Never change your answers. Never change your answers. But in most cases, you should actually change your answers. Many studies have been conducted on this question over the past 80 years. And the data from all those studies were clear. Students who actually do change their answers on exams tend to score better and are more likely to pass. Why? Well, according to research, our brains have something called a memory bias or cognitive bias, meaning if something's going to go wrong, we would prefer that it happened because we didn't do something rather than us actually doing something, meaning feelings of regret are greater than omission, which in our case means students tend to overestimate the amount of times they've changed answers from right to wrong and underestimate the opposite. So what exactly does that mean for the real estate exam? Well, if you feel like you should change an answer in the exam and you feel justified in doing so, you probably should. Additionally, if you're feeling resistance towards changing the answer, realize that's probably caused by your cognitive biases. Now, granted, this doesn't mean that you'll always be right when you change your answer on the exam, but statistically, most of the time you will be. And on an exam like the real estate exam, every point matters. I hear so many stories of students failing by just 1 or 2 points. Maybe it was because they didn't believe in themselves the second time around, or they just followed bad advice. But I am here to tell you guys everything you knew before this was wrong. Change your answers if you have any doubts. That's the secret. And that's why you will pass come exam day. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. As I mentioned before, all the research is linked down below. I highly encourage you guys to check it out. Actually, Thomas Frank did a video on this similar phenomenon. He's the one that kind of helped me discover this. I encourage you guys to check that video out as well if you're still unsure about this whole secret. But yeah, it's really good. Well, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, this is Zach from RealEstateLicenseWizard.com. As always, make today magical. I'll see you guys next time.